Second. Second. Discussion.
Here's on now. Okay. Okay, I can hear you. It's hard to say something. Can you hear me? That's what I'm saying. Can you hear me?
Second. Second. Discussion.
There's a now.
Second. Discussion.
Oh, okay. Yeah, do that. I don't know if you're talking about.
For the future, any league votes, any championship leagues to come forward and say, hey, something changed here, and we go through this process again. Third, this is about money. Those leagues make a lot of money. It's requirement, conditions of sanction, financial reports, so we know what the money is. Fall back, Pete Pizzurro is our executive director, out of New York. Somewhere in 30, 40, 50, in one case there was a year that was $7,000. This meat host was deprived of that opportunity for their club. Now we're going to change it while they're sitting here and further insult. I don't think that's right. So I think the House should not support change to a league that has already been awarded for those and lots of others. Numbers may fall. I raised that point when this may impact numbers, but nobody was concerned about it. None of the leadership, the agent committee, the board, the proposal was concerned. This is personalized. This is factual. And nobody was concerned about that. And now we're told that, oh, hey, on second thought, he was not going to go. So what does that mean? Fewer people swim, loss of revenue.
Right, super quiet.
Kids who qualify, when you have bonus events, who needs the bonus events? People who have one time. Kids who go and support the league, 500, 600, or 700 there, it's still a very viable league. It has been a viable league. I speak against adding bonus events. Other people agree also.
So, just a clarification, at our last House Delegates,
We need somebody on the mic that's working.
recommendation on a host, because at the time we had only received confirmation that Elkhart was available and that the Valparaiso was available like a couple of days prior to House Delegates.
Point of order, though, there's a governance issue here. How it is delivered to the House of Delegates.
Because both.
There's no mechanism other than going bylaws are clear. There's no mechanism in bylaws to do the agent committee.
He's acting. He's doing it.
Both bidding teams were given the opportunity to secure a location after their initial locations were no longer available to them. They were then brought to the House, and the House made the decision.
I recall the conversation. The other points.
I'm just creating clarification. I'm not speaking either way. I'm just making sure that everybody's aware of how that actually went down.
So, as a media director, I just found out about this about an hour ago, so I'm not sure. The way it was explained to me is that there are parents who may not want to drive that distance for one event. So this was an opportunity not so much for money, but to entice, if you will, kids to get them a better motivation to go to the swimming. So that's what it's explained to me. If that's incorrect, I would ask somebody more to clarify.
Okay,
I just want to verify that, because John gave me a call and talked to me about it. Dollars and cents focusing from the conversation that had to deal with the athletes and they can get something worth their while in a unique situation. Money was not helpful.
go.
As a member of the community, and I was part of that conversation.
Switch it to the podium.
Never ever
If not, you might have to keep off the edge to my phone. And then record it. Come on.
What if I just like go over there and then like take it with the tripod?
Well, because we want to do it back.
Michael.
Because we only got one camera.
Regardless of whether the conversation is held, that's the I think it's unfair to the default bidder to get conditions of the we had a viable bid, everything really was 50. Bidders made the second bid. I think if they had that opportunity to present their club, and we like that.
Watch out for this.
We did not give them that. It's unfair.
That's right.
Is this just
Just a one-time thing. One time.
John, I don't see any different than, we've been doing some years before, 6 months in advance, when we set the time standards. Time standards get tighter, we get smaller, I just don't see a difference. It's just a single situation. The House voted on where this meeting would be, the House's choice. And the agencies are trying to help the others of our LLC, that's it.
Jack?
John, what was the impact that the agent committee found on what you think is going to happen when they do it?
Without increasing the number of swimmers, I believe it was an additional 270 swims that would be added to the meet. Swimmers coming with one swim, we added 3, 2, we added 1. It was 270 odd swims that would be added to the meet.
So that was presumptive, you have no idea if they actually had regional cups or not.
No, that was just,
Max.
yeah. The first was brought to the HQ committee was not to have cuts. We decided to have a minimum. There was a worry that it might have a tendency to, take away from the meet if we had no time standards. So we decided to put a minimum there to make sure we had some quality swimming still going on.
Thank you, John.
Yep.
What's the
Yes.
minimum?
Regional minimum. Yes, you may.
This further makes it unfair to the region because now we're gutting the region. If you have one JO cup, you can now go to the region or go to JOs and swim 3 events. So what's the impact on the region? It's much broader than has been considered. I got to drive 160 miles to go there. If I have kids with one cut, I'm going to go 160 miles. I'm not going to go 50 miles south of the region meet.
Hello?
To the meat house, they run a great meat. But when I go to Joe's, time is consumed. I don't think that's further unfair to the southern region because they have their needs and not
Okay.
by having bonus time standards for region.
Yes, Mark.
I'm sorry, if I had to pick with one cut, I'm gonna go regional to try and get one cut. I'm not gonna sit there and try and just.
I think that's a choice of coach.
I understand that, but I don't think that has a big impact.
Further discussion?
Second.
All in favor of closing discussion? Like sign? Okay, now we move to this. Is this,
It's a simple majority
so we'll go by voice and if needed.
if needed.
Alright. All those in favor, bonus swims with a minimum of a regional time standard at the 2020 Age Group Championship meet. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Is that a majority? Okay, so that's.
The camera.
Mr. Chairman, we asked every day division.
Okay.
We do have people that.
All right, yeah, not a problem. I have no problem.
Alright, so anybody that has a green card that you got at registration, we had 108 resident voters, so we need a minimum of 55
So
to
the only way to get audio to
have
put
this
it on
pass.
table and don't
Right,
switch it.
that's 108 of a possible 266. So all those in favor of the motion as presented, raise your card nice and high.
If you want audio, if you
Uh,
want audio,
Ellie,
you're not
actually.
Point of order.
Yes.
Anybody with a kidney or interest in this cannot vote.
The one Michael just said right there.
It's in our conflict of interest policy.
We need an out. So you fucking go.
He's saying we can't.
Yeah, you can't vote.
To plug this up to the camera, you can just sit this on the camera.
But you need an out. It picks up sound from us talking. Only one camera. Well, the case was short. That camera's up. It's up. Camera's up. I mean, no. Go for just for the people. Just go on. We put it. Wait, what are you gonna do? Just for the just. For what? I'm going now, that camera. No, it don't work. Is it? It's on. It's on?
Tire comes straight.
I'm gonna take it off these cables and shit. I'm gonna take it off the cables and shit. So what is that one? What is that one? Pick up. So that one just needs to be stationed. That one just needs to. I'm gonna put that one. I'm gonna put it on the podium. That one. Hey guys, I'm behind the guy. He's gonna get a shot.
Something move the camera a little back on it. Or try just picking up the tripod.
The recommendations for the 2020 regional meets, July 24th through the 26th, we received 6 bids. 1 withdrew based off of the age group championship bid. The 5 bids that the age group committee is recommending is Academy Bullets, Cats, Elgin, St. Charles, Swift, Blue Devil. We'd still like to fill the 2 remaining meets. Do I need to vote on this first? Yeah. A motion to accept the 5 current recommendations from the age group committee. Second, all in favor?
Is it possible that you can
Opposed?
move the camera a little bit?
The 2 remaining bids, we sent out an email on August 30th requesting
Like it's like.
to fill the 2 remaining sites
You
that we
can
hope.
move the camera a little bit?
Currently, we have 1 bid in. We have 1 trying to secure a pool. At the end of 30 days, those will be presented to the board, and they will select out of the entered or offered bids. They will select 2 to fulfill the 7 bids. Do I have a motion to accept
Can you
that?
hear me?
Do I need to do that? Nope. Okay, fabulous. Moving on.
Can you hear me?
Age Group Champ Committee recommendation is the only host for the 2020 Long Course Age Group Championships is Lincoln Way Swim Association at Lake Central High School, July 30th through August 2nd. A motion to accept the recommendation of the Age Group Committee. Second? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you. If you have any other questions about age group, please come see me after the meeting. I appreciate it. Jeff didn't reference what was in his report. Central Zones 2020. We are going to go to Jinx, Oklahoma. A little bit of a drive. But in 2021, the two central zones, we're now going to do a mega zone. Elkhart, Indiana, and FMC Aquatic Center received bids for the zone meets, so we will have two of them. Hopefully Indiana does not want to come to Illinois, which will make us go to Indiana, so that was a joke. All right, thank you.
Thanks, John. Next up, Todd with the senior report.
I'm not going to use the microphone to talk about it. My report is included in the packet. There are timestamps for both the winter and summer championship meets included. And I give a motion to accept the standards as included. Second? Discussion? All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Travel support document is also included. No changes from this past year in how we are funding athletes. Still with the minimum requirement of a winter junior cut to be eligible for club preparatory money.
You said sound.
Are there any questions on club support, travel support?
The sound is coming through the computer.
Fantastic. I think the only other action item I have is to deal with the state championship. I do want to address one item in my report. We will be beginning in the fall of 2020. We have a class of the Open Hall of Fame. The performance committee has developed standards for which to select Hall of Famers. There are multiple criteria and tiers by which Hall of Famers will be enshrined. The first inaugural class in 2020 will capture all of our previous Olympians, American record holders, and world record holders that have been involved with Illinois swimming. So we'll have obviously a very large class. The goal is to have an event for our Hall of Famers, potentially coinciding with our banquet. We won't know yet until we see how many of our Hall of Famers actually decide to come. We've included some information on the Hall of Fame and senior champs. I know I spoke about it in some of the regionals. I did talk to coaches and age group champs. Are there any questions about our Hall of Fame? At least to start. The goal for the Hall of Fame is hopefully within 3 years, we'll be at the point where we are taking significant nominees from the body and then having a voting process of who the Hall of Famers will be. With the beginning classes, especially year 1 and year 2, we're going to be really focusing on automatic Olympians, world record holders, national team members, and then hopefully picking up people that we may miss in our initial rounds. So I know Michael Lawrence has been involved in this project with the performance committee. Michael has been at this and we discussed it.
No, I hope that everybody really appreciates that we're doing this. My swimming, central swimming, 1980, the Sports Act, the first time I recall discussion. A lot of, just say, politics and self-interest and things. A lot of we have a really good document, really good standards for working that through 2020. Scott said, we'll get to a place where
We have a target goal of January 1 to start getting more information out to the membership on nominations. Can be submitted nominations, obviously, can come in at any time. But our first class that we looked at taking nominees for will be 2021 or 2022. So that is the Hall of Fame in a nutshell. Lastly is the senior bid. I'm going to let Jeff handle this one.
All right. So Todd's club being one of the bidding clubs for the senior meeting. That's why I'm going to be up here and handle this. Or, I mean, well, he's the head coach on football. So, we've received 2 bids for the 2020 senior championship meet. One bid was the Academy Bullets at Munster High School. The other valid bid we received was Ultimate and West Swim Club at UIC. The board of directors and the senior committee is recommending the bid from Academy at Munster. Can I get a motion to accept? Never mind, go ahead, Adam.
Well, first of all, there was a bid from the senior committee, on the senior committee, so kind of confused a little bit.
You go try to focus.
Thinking about if I move the policy about bidding on sites that's not finished. Kind of start with, one, I just wanted to get a process.
Let's go through this first. Okay, so there's a motion on the floor to suspend our current policy that reads, we can only accept bids from facilities that are currently open and operational. Can I get a second? Any discussion? All this?
Yeah, hold it up.
How long is this policy?
Since June. Anyways, I'll give you guys a little bit of background on it. The reason that we put this policy in place as the board of directors was we accepted a bid from the Elkhart, from Academy at Elkhart for a facility that was not completed and had never run a meet. And as a board of directors, we looked at that and said, this probably isn't a position we want to put the LSC in. Number one, if that facility was to not open on time or have catastrophic issues that allowed it, that made it so it wasn't feasible to run the meet, we then, as a board, were going to have to scramble to put a meet together and find a host and do all of those things. So when we sat down and said, let's take a look at this, what seems feasible, it was feasible to say, at time of bid, that facility needs to be open. Okay? If we do suspend that policy right now, it is the pleasure of the House. If I've had conversations with the folks from FMC, you are more than right to bring this up in front of this group of people right now so that we can have a discussion at the House. Now having been at the USA Swimming House of Delegates many times, this is where these discussions need to take place. And you guys have every opportunity to speak your mind and for this group to make that decision. The board came with a recommendation because we felt it was appropriate to have the meet at Munster since we have hosted meets there before, and that facility is currently open. Yeah, Todd.
Just to clarify, it wasn't just Elkhart, is why this policy was put in place, it's Elkhart and Elkhart.
And Delco.
And then to answer Adam's statement about not being included with the senior committee, Adam would not include, as I was not included as well, the rest of the committee that way forward. So it's not, that is actually not accurate. So the committee did meet, the committee chose Munster, and the board of directors, they must have a recommendation.
Never the senior committee.
No.
No.
The board of directors received the senior committee's recommendation of they didn't know what to do. The board asked the senior committee to reconsider. You and I were removed from that conversation. The remainder of the committee met to give a recommendation.
Okay, so let's be accurate.
Only to the motion.
Yeah, right now, let's focus just on suspending the policy, then we can get into the other stuff. Michael.
Just so you guys think I'm being fair, or it's a fair thing. Motion to suspend, seconded, not to
Yep. So, since this is just on the motion to suspend the policy, okay. I'm hoping it's a one-time thing. That's the way that I'm taking this. Adam, is it a one-time thing?
I was sort of.
Huh? And it's a one-time thing. So the motion on the floor is to suspend the policy suspend the policy for this current bid right now of not accepting the bid from a incomplete facility. We've already got a second. All those in favor?
Point of order?
Yeah.
Who gets to vote on this? Because I'm not sure. I get to vote on this, I mean,
I think everybody does.
Yeah, but we're just voting on the policy, not on the actual bid.
Suspending policy.
What you trying to pull
What's the
out?
confidence level on this?
Just keep motion, keep it in motion.
Alright, so there should be no more discussion at this point. We're only voting on suspending the policy for this House of Delegates right here. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Like sign.
Aye.
Alright, I'm hearing division in this. Yes, bring it from the back. Okay,
What does the vote have to be? I'm sorry.
2/3.
2/3 yea or nay? 2/3 yea.
Okay. Okay. I don't think I heard that, but we'll in all fairness, we'll do that.
you can actually real quick, just do it by cards, and I don't want to count it.
Yeah. So everybody that's in favor of suspending the policy, raise your card nice and high right now. Got it. It does not pass. Okay. So then it comes back to the original. We just have a motion then on the floor, or no, we don't have a motion yet. We were voting to suspend the policy, so now I have a motion to accept the Munster bid from the Academy Bullets as proposed by the senior committee and the board of directors. Can I get a second? Second. Okay. Now, are there any discussion on that? We cannot, by our policy, accept any other bids other than the two, unless there's a bid in the court for a facility that's open. Yes.
If you're in the report this morning,
Yeah, we'll make that correction. All right, all those in favor of hosting our senior meet at Munster, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Thank you, guys. Next up, we have Brian with the program officer report.
Hope you guys got the yellow form with the amended report that was turned in. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. Just going to touch base on hosting your meets, programming your meets. When I took the position just to learn and do things as fairly, as equitably as possible, I reached out to former people in this position. Used this last week, actually. I was able to learn a lot. One of the focus points is keeping kids in the sports, keeping meets reasonable if people want to do it, that kind of thing. I just want to touch base on how this is happening. When I work with teams this summer, those that work with me, most of them are really amenable. You need to follow owners swimming and USA swimming rules for 12 and unders to be under 4 hours per session, 8 hours all day for prelims finals, 10 hours for time final meet all day, and 11 and a half for prelims finals. And the key here is you need to plan your meets for 4 hours. Okay, if you plan a meet and maybe it's a little over and you decide to, and this happened this summer, we're going to limit to 200 amps to such and such, you follow that plan, then you're fine. If you plan a meet for 3 hours and 55 minutes and for some reason, whatever happens, you go 410, nothing's going to happen because the plan was for that. If you plan for 405 for a 12 and under session and you don't make it, there's going to be penalties involved. And that's the other thing I want to touch on. There was no really, the board of directors felt that there was no incentive or no teeth to the policy that was previously in place for teams that did go over. They could literally make up the penalty in 3 to 4 heats of athletes running over. They want to make it so everybody's being uniform in what they take. The key here is to not, actually, the USA rule says to not take. You have to stop accepting entries when you reach your time limit. And that's what we all need to get in the habit of doing. There are plenty of meets that don't fill. Plenty of other options for us to go to. So what's changed is if you don't plan for under 4 hours and you exceed 4 hours, the financial penalty is $500 every 15 minutes or portion thereof. In addition to that, I just listed them out as some people knew. There's 1 year probation, there's increased sanction fees. If you are on probation and something happens again, you can be suspended from hosting a meeting for a year. My goal is to never have to impose a penalty. That's honestly out of my goal. I don't care what team, what meeting, doesn't matter. My goal is to work with teams and make every meet to be successfully functional for the athletes of the LSC. But the board wanted to make sure that we had a deterrent from people just taking entries, and letting these meets run too long. So that's really all I want to touch on. I can answer questions if need be. I'll do my best. Jack.
Ryan, in planning for sessions, what are you accepting as a reasonable interval between starts?
Obviously, nobody's doing chase starts in the summer. In the wintertime, I'd say 15 seconds is reasonable. Anything less than that.
The official committee agrees with
Agree with anything less than 15 seconds is impossible.
that. Anything shorter than that, you're asking either too much of the athlete.
And that happened. Somebody returned in this summer, returned in a session report to me, and all they do is just make it like 10 seconds. I'm like, no, this isn't going to work. Like, we need to come up with a different approach. So I work with teams. I offer suggestions. They can take it or leave it. I don't care. I just work with them to try to make sure their meet is viable. We're staying within the rules and making sure for athletes. Anybody else?
Shouldn't that be in the rule or in the policy that there is that it's 15 seconds? You cannot, because if you can take me a minute to go 5 seconds, I'll sit and pick up 20 minutes of your meeting. So I think that should be part of the policy that your intervals would be 15 seconds.
That's something we take back to the board and look at to add the policy procedure. Sure.
Is this on scheduled meets or all meets?
All meets, not including championship meets. Any sanctioned event. Michael?
I'm not sure who this is, but this isn't policy. This is rules. This is it's not policy. I went to a downloaded rules yesterday. To the firm. Look at the yellow sheet of paper. I didn't know this. Down there under policy, the part that changes it to 500 is actually 280. Everything else, other penalties, that's the rest of it. So if we're going to change this, the threshold is fine.
So, we have, okay, so, part of my ignorance a little bit on this, we have this reference in our policy procedure manual, defining amounts. Not that again, I'm saying I'm not looking at the rule right now. Does the rule reference the fine amount, or does the rule just reference the 4 hour?
The rule 208, if you look at it, 208 is a complete section on penalties for violating the rule of policy. I did go back and look at the rules from 208. It wasn't changed. It wasn't changed in 208 or something. This was simply the rule. I'm not opposed to it as a rule.
I don't know,
I was told it's policy procedure, the board voted on it.
That was the last thing that was addressed. Are there any other questions, Brian?
No, if there are any other questions, you can watch Jeff looks this up. Otherwise, I'm thank you.
All right, so then we have a dual listed, so that's my fault for not bringing that to Brian, to say that this had to be a rule change. Therefore, we could take it from the floor, but it would require 90% in order for it to pass. So let's just keep that.
So, all right. We'll proceed that way. The rule now states it's $150 per any portion of an hour. That's ridiculous. 4 heats of whatever. you can make that up. There's no teeth to the rule, there's no bite. We have to find a way to deter teams, and there were just many instances, over the years, we've all done this a long time, most of us, and there are some meets you're at forever. Because, well, and I literally had a coach tell me this summer, well, okay, $150, big deal, I'll just pay it and move on. That's not what it's about. It's about making the meets viable. They really, the LSC development last week, the LSC major mega meeting last week, this is stuff they focused on. So, oh yeah, sorry. So this is, I was just trying to see where this came from. So the motion of the board, or motion of me, whatever it has to be, is to implement this rule, change this rule as listed on the yellow sheet.
And that would be for 208. Yeah.
Point two.
Point two. Okay. 201.1.2 in the rule book.
There's actually a problem with it. We're going to do this. Right, sure. This actually says for each hour or any portion that the meeting exceeds the daily time limit. It doesn't actually reference that you are the planning portion of it. This seems to penalize you for actually running over 4 hours.
Well, the rule, actually, the original rule, that part isn't in the penalty phase, that part's in the actual rule. It says you shall plan for. If the rule is written as you shall plan for. And if you exceed that, then that's where these penalties come in. Am I making sense?
I agree with that. I think we should strike the language in 208.1.2 that seems to indicate it's for actual time run over.
Okay.
That would make it more consistent with the prior rule, which deals with the planning of the meeting.
I would accept a friendly amendment if that's what you're making. Excellent.
Second.
We're voting on the amendment, right? Okay. All in favor of Jack's friendly amendment, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign? Thank you, amendment's good. Okay, still any more discussion? While Jeff's looking this up, anybody have more questions?
Just a clarification of what his amendment was. Sorry, I missed it.
Chad, we say it again.
The motion was to strike 208.1.2 language. The end of the section. It should read exceeds instead of the daily time limit, the plan meet.
So right now it reads, any violating, or any club violating any of the provisions of ISI Article 203.3.1 or .2 time schedule may be subject to the penalties listed in Article 208.1.1 and the assessment of $150 per hour for each hour or any portion thereof that the meet exceeds the daily limit. He's saying remove the daily limit, the daily time limit, and the daily or the planned event time. Yes. Got it.
All right, any more discussion on proposed penalty change?
Again, this will require 90% to pass.
Sorry, I hate to be a pain, we're just trying to catch the athletes up to speed, up to speed. Can you go over again, I know you just did 208.1.2, that's the one we're talking about, correct?
Correct.
Right.
And it's changing that to $500 instead of $150.
Every 15 minutes.
Every 15 minutes, okay, instead of per hour.
Correct.
Right.
Do you want to read rule to be shall instead of may? Yes. Maybe punishment
Yes.
shall.
Yes.
I would move to change the word may to shall in the rules.
Take a second.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor of changing the word may into shall, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Make that change, please, Mike. Got it?
We're going to
We're gonna vote to change, we're voting whether or not we're gonna change that.
I'm amending the proposal, not the rule.
Okay, so just a point of view on this. So
Go ahead. Go ahead, Kate.
we amended the 208.1.2 correct? Instead of word and,
Yes. I can barely hear you, but yes.
correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that took care of a section of rules. Left the $150 penalty still in play.
Not yet.
For
No,
now.
I mean,
Right.
just to clarify, and we changed the word may in one section to shall.
Same section.
Same place.
208.1.2.
We changed the
I'm looking for the word may in that
Right
paragraph.
after time schedule.
That time schedule.
Ah,
Yeah.
got it. Sorry, we're trying to keep
That's
up
all right.
here, sorry.
Housekeeping
Okay,
again.
so, just a clarification for everybody, so 208.1.2 reads, right now, as amended, any club violating any of the provisions of ISA Article 203.2.1 or .2 time schedule shall be subject to the penalties listed in ISI Article 208.1.1 and the assessment of $150 for any portion of the fee that exceeds the planned daily limit.
Yes.
No, plan limit.
Plan
The
limit.
plan,
Because there's a difference between
the
session
plan.
and
Yeah, take out daily, just plan limit.
So we're striking daily as well. So the assessment of the $150 is for any portion that exceeds the planned limit,
Correct.
correct?
Correct. Okay.
Okay, so we just amended and corrected that portion of that rule.
Right.
Sorry, guys.
Are we got any more discussion? All right, all in favor of the motion changing the penalties signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. All right, real quick, before I move on to the treasurer's report, at the conclusion of the House of Delegates, I would like to invite, the FMC group to present on the facility so that we can all learn more about it. Even though today we, decided not to take our senior meet there, it is still an exciting facility that's going to be online here relatively soon. And I think we'll all see the benefit within the swimming community of what this is going to bring to Illinois swimming, and hopefully a lifelong, long partnership well after I stand here, Dave, and Adam, and all these guys. So I do want to encourage you guys to hang out for a little bit afterwards and see that presentation. Mark, treasurer's report.
So let's talk money. The fiscal year just ended August 31st, so we don't have actual numbers in yet. As soon as we get them, we'll post them. It looks like we're going to be about $140,000 in net operating income. That's still a moving target at this point a little bit, but but we think that's going to be the number. That will leave us approximately $375,000 in cash. Along with the AEF fund currently stands at about $752,000. So we're in a pretty good position cash-wise. I guess we're going to talk about the budget a little later, John, is that correct?
Correct.
Some of the things that we've done as far as the office goes, we have partnered with an accounting firm to help with the monthly checks and balances. And they're also now doing the payroll for ISI. That's in accordance with the USA Swimming Guidelines, and we just feel that's a best practice. We're really close to getting the sales tax exemption for ISI. That's really going to help with the budget. We're in the final stages of that, and that'll be a real bit of help to us. I just came back from my first convention, man. What week it was. It was kind of crazy. I really feel good about where this organization is lined up with USA Swimming. We are doing exactly, from a financial point of view, what they're doing. For instance, their long-term money is invested exactly the way ours is, kind of a 60-40 split. So I felt really good about everything, with that. Questions for me? We'll talk about the budget a little later, but questions for now? Michael.
Just a couple questions first. Thanks for all your hard work in doing all this. I do read everything, financial statement. Understand a little bit better where some of the appreciate that. Looking at the revenue side of the statement here, 5650, 5720, that's $39,000 shortfall. Are there, I know it's so there's still revenue coming in from those events that you're doing.
Doing the pool and senior camp.
$39,000.
Yeah, we have, any revenue that we have coming in as the invoice and all of the amounts from those three that's completed.
Nico, you gotta try to focus your camera.
Some of the other things like sponsorships.
Yeah, sponsorships.
If I could look over at 6610 senior camps stipends, one of those looks like it hasn't been paid, which I assume is getting paid.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay, so that would reduce us
Did you hear me?
from 140
Yeah, we have some outstanding income and some outstanding.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
So we should still be on par with 140.
Right.
As soon as the audit is done, we're done with this.
We'll post everything, for sure.
The timing with this meeting, traditionally being in October, means that we can be a little more thorough with the numbers that are available. With the fiscal year ending 22 days ago or 21 days ago, it's just difficult. So we do understand.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Bill.
What's the webcasting expenditures dropped so for that? 34,000 last year.
We're up.
No, we're up.
The two pool setup was more expensive. No longer having Tony, we did a whole bunch of the stuff that we did. Made it more expensive. So there were just some more expenses that went with it. On top of that, and Tammy, tell me if I'm wrong, it was really just the amount of man hours that we needed for the two pools versus what we've done in the past.
Questions, you said you spent 34,000, forecasting about 10,000 this year.
Right.
Going down so much this month.
I don't believe
I read his report.
in the budget.
No, I read his.
Right. We've got about 10,000
For next year's budget.
for 2020, that's correct.
That I don't know.
And all the parameters are really set where it runs through the course of the race.
So it should be 100%. So we'll make an adjustment. Yeah.
Is that it? All right, thank you.
All right. Pam, membership registration report.
It's in the packet.
All right. Any questions for Pam? All right. Rob, coaches report.
Hello, my name is Rob Emery. I'm the coaches chair for Illinois Swimming. And since it's my first time to be able to get up there and give my report verbally, I will take the opportunity to do that and introduce myself. I want to go over the USAS convention report. This is my second convention But my first convention as an active delegate of Illinois Swimming as the coach's chair, and it was just a phenomenal opportunity to be a participant in the governance process and to sit in some of the meetings with senior development and age group development and all the great things that USA Swimming goes through in the governance process. It's definitely mind-bending. The things at the national level and how it comes down to our level. One of the things I got was if something's empty, fill it up. Just some encouragements that I can give to everybody. The age group committee talk was about finding opportunities to use your facilities to its maximum and give age group swimmers the maximum opportunity to be in the pool and progressing. And one of the things that just hit me about that was when there's a day off in school, they would bring in these other programs. North Baltimore would bring kids in just on the off day of school, your lowest level group, and just work on starts and turns and giving them that one extra opportunity. And for me personally, that kind of is like, hey, that's something I can execute correctly. And my encouragement to you is, talk to each other and collaborate. That's one of the main things as your coach's chair that I want to foster amongst us is collaboration. Because I think the more that we get together and talk, whether it's at a Cubs game or just out for a beverage or at breakfast. I know TJ Moran, who's a committee member, has sponsored breakfast a couple of times and people have gone, and Tom Reman has had a golf outing, and just trying to get coaches together so we can collaborate and talk swimming. And I think that's just a great opportunity where maybe we can solve each other's problems or just talk them out and come up with some good ideas for Illinois Swimming. Best on best training. One of the big talks at the senior level was how far behind we are in the distance events. And I don't want to use this as just a stump to say, well, we're really behind as a nation in distance swimming, but rather just an opportunity to say we need to keep raising the bar as Illinois Swimming and raising the bar as coaches. I know that all of us get comfortable coaching at the levels that we're coaching at a lot of the time. But raising the bar and getting opportunities for our athletes, best on best athletes, to train together, develop those friendships, develop that support structure that helps excellence happen. And so I really, want to help the senior committee, age group committee provide those opportunities just beyond the camp thing, whether it's me, inviting 6, 8, 10 athletes, hey, come on up and practice with us. We're having a distance group, or another coach and saying, hey, I have a distance group and we have an IM group. Why don't you run the IM group? Somebody who's way better at IM or sprinting than I am. And just sharing our knowledge and sharing our athletes to try to make our LSC better. I thought that was a good talk that I was a part of. Another one of the things that I'm always thinking about is coaches' education. And one of the great things that we have going right now is we have a link to the American Swim Coaches Association World Clinic Yearbook. And one of my background items is I interned with John Leonard and Peter Banks. John Leonard is the executive director, actually outgoing executive director at ASCA. But the tremendous opportunity that I had to learn from him and see the inner workings of how the educational system at ASCA works and get benefits from. But we're going to have a link on the coaches page, and we're going to email that link out to everybody so that you can go and get the transcriptions for the World Clinic Yearbook. And that's a tremendous opportunity where you can go and you can pick and choose from that. And there's a couple other things. There's a bulletin board companion that I have personally. And what we can do is try to use some of those things. It's little articles that you can put in your news blast or team newsletters that are educational items, like 10 and under swimming, or what happens when the head coach has to go with one athlete to nationals and there's 30 kids in age groups and it's the same time. Some of the common day-to-day things that we face are in that. The Go Swim setup, I don't know if everybody's aware, but Go Swim has, and Illinois Swimming have a partnership where they have instructional videos that come through daily or weekly at different times. I think it's daily. We have some kind of new drill or something like that. And all you have to do for Illinois Swimming is click on the link, and then you just register. It's just giving your email and making your own password, and it's free. It costs absolutely nothing. Just like the ASCA World Clinic Yearbook, it costs nothing. But it's a tremendous opportunity and can spark some ideas to help our athletes get better with teaching progressions and just a number of different things. committee contacts and mentoring opportunities. So if you just want to talk to one of the committee members, it's myself, Kathy Regali is here, TJ Moran, Kathy, wait, because I know you're here because I was sitting next to you. Tom Raymond, TJ Moran at Swift, Tom Raymond's all the way in the back. Glenn Brown from Academy. Those are the committee members. Did I miss somebody? I hope not. So I really want you to, feel free to come and approach us if you have an idea. Come to us and ways that we can help educate and collaborate as coaches and make our LSC better. One of the things lastly I wanted to touch on is just making everybody aware of the increased education that we as coaches have to do. You have to do the USADA, and that's on the USA Swimming Learn tab. And again, as I get into the website and I get into this position a little bit more, I want to make sure I include those links to make it really easy for you just to go to the Illinois Swimming website, just be able a couple of clicks and you're right at USA Swimming to do these extra courses. So the USADA, which is awareness of doping and drugs and all that kind of stuff, as far as performance goes. Athlete protection training, you have some an extra class to do on that. It takes about 90 minutes to take care of the whole thing. And there's also a concussion protocol training. So one of the things with concussion protocol, as you go to national level meets, you may have to have a concussion protocol training in order to even register for the meet. So they won't give you a credential if you don't have your concussion protocol done. So if you, especially in California, we had juniors, we had to present our certificate or whatever to make sure that they had that. And then on the USA Swimming page, they have the different educational classes in the different organizations. Like I did mine through the National High School Federation as a crossover as a water polo coach for our high school, but that'll work. So it gives you all the different classes that you can use for that. Some other goals is that I have for the next House of Delegates in the next few months, raising educational awareness, making sure I get as much information out to you all and interact with you all as often as possible. Recognition and awareness of the World Top 100 and the National Age Group Top 10 is trying to share and celebrate the success that we have and teaching you guys how to get your kids on that list. The World Top 100 list for 18 and under swimming, you have to request USA Swimming to put your kid on that list because they don't automatically do it. Even if the time is in swims, you have to email USA Swimming and ask for your athlete to be coded and added onto that. So that'll be another link and information that I want to get on our website so that you guys have that information and are aware. Because that's recognition for our athletes. A lot of our athletes are ranked in the top 100 in the world, but they're not getting that recognition because we just aren't informed on how to do things. So I want to bring that to you guys. Awareness of USA Swimming and junior national selection process. So there's a quad plan for the national junior team and national team, and I want to make sure we're all aware of that so that we can attend, the open water nationals, and that's a selection meet. So as an example, there were only 12 18 and under men that were vying for 3 spots on the World Junior team going to open water worlds. So basically, you had a 25% chance by just showing up. And I think we have some really fine athletes that would have liked the chance to be on Team USA this summer. It's just making everybody aware of where the selection meets are. Where do our athletes need to be forwarded on to that national level stage and recognize Illinois swimming at the next level. So I want to be coordinating with USA Swimming, coordinating with the senior chair and age group chair, and pushing that forward as much as I can. Programs and services. A lot of the programs and services that are available from USA Swimming, help visits from Randy Julian, the Central Zone chair, are available for free, and we just have to ask for them. And I want you guys to be aware that those, part of your $79 goes to those services, and we don't use them because we just don't know how to get to them sometimes. And I know for me, that was a huge eye-opener, is just scrounging through things until I found something, or having a higher level coach tell me about them, and now I know that they're there. And I want to make sure that every coach in Illinois Swimming knows what services are available to them and their athletes and their clubs from USA Swimming. Initiate workout sharing. I know I have 3 or 4 coaches in the room that I share workouts with all the time, and setting up that on our Facebook page. Anybody can share workouts all the time, and I know, at least from my perspective, I get a little stale with workouts once in a while. And sharing workouts once in a while really refreshes me and making sure my athletes are getting the best. So I want to facilitate that for everybody. I want to have an educational opportunity available at the athlete banquet coming up here in October. And then every time we have a House of Delegates, just have some kind of educational opportunity. Whether it's just a panel of coaches at the age group level who have kids on the national top 10 list, or maybe some of the coaches who already have Olympic trials qualifiers. It's just having opportunities where we can collaborate and be educated together and share knowledge, and helping our athletes move up and helping ourselves move up educationally. Educational opportunities from house, and hosting socials. I think one of the collaboration things, we hosted a social at summer age groups, and I think we had about 30 coaches there, and it was outstanding. It's just an opportunity to get together and relax, and talk swimming and see how things are going. And that's one of the things that you can do with me, is if I'm on the pool deck at a meet or whatever, come and talk to me about the meet. Come and talk to me about things that I can do for you to help you learn, to help make your athletes better. So I'm sorry I took a little bit extra time, but I've never had the opportunity to really talk to the whole group. But if you have any ideas or things, or questions or anything, just let me know. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find out the answer for you. But I look forward to serving you moving forward. Thank you. Does anybody have any questions? Excellent.
Thank you.
Thank you again.
Next up, we have our athletes, and while they're walking out, our Joel is driving you guys to talk. I just wanted to make mention while they're walking up here, we had 4 athletes attend conventions here for the first time. We had that many athletes attend, and they were very active in their meetings. They're setting a really good example for future athlete leadership in the LSC. So they've done a really nice job. Joel and Eric have been doing a great job leading, and Greta and Sean are learning a lot from both of them as they have gone through this first year.
So one of the things we've been talking about doing, and we just planned, is a clinic before the banquet. And there's a typo, but Aaron Pearsall, not Pearson, and Josh Davis will be there. We're gonna have a clinic for athletes, and we're gonna try and spread awareness about that so we get a lot of athletes to come.
Prior to the HOD, we had an athlete meeting where we had a productive discussion about how we want to help the LSC. We actually had the most athletes attend the meeting since I've been here. But that being said, we still need 20% of athlete voting membership. So our goal from the convention was to bring 1 athlete per club to the House of Delegates meeting. So if any coaches out here could talk to your athletes and try to bring one to the Spring House of Delegates, that's how Greta and I got involved. Our coach told us that there was this opportunity and we decided to come. So if you're sitting here alone and you're an adult, try to bring an athlete for the Spring House of Delegates meeting, and we can have another discussion as an athlete committee.
Thank you, guys. All right, Jack with the officials report.
Oh, hi. I don't have anything to add if you want to see my report. I did want to mention to everybody in the room, it's a really big deal for us in Illinois swimming. We had an official pick to an assigned position at trials next summer. Eric Peterson is going to start. Eric also really does a lot for this LSC. He's in the last year been the Rutgers senior champion. He teaches, I would say, between 5 and 6 of our starters place every year. And he works between 50 and 80 sessions on tower decks. It's a tremendous resource to us. I just wanted to make sure everybody knew. If anybody has any questions on anything else in my report, please feel free.
Thank you, Jack. This next one should not say safety coordinator, it should say operational risk. Casey?
Our report is
Anybody have any questions for Casey? All right, Melissa, safe sport.
All right, my report is also in the packet, but I just have a couple things that I wanted to highlight. First of all, I wanted to thank all of you for your patience with the MAP rollout at convention when I sat in my safe sport meetings. Admittedly, it was crazy, and USA Swimming recognizes that, and they are looking for feedback on MAP. So if you have any feedback, you can pass it along to me. I can pass it along to the safe sport at National. It's going to be here forever. It is going to be our new way of dealing with safe sport. So please make sure that you are getting your parents to acknowledge the policy as well as your swimmers. Again, though, if you have questions regarding MAP, please feel free to ask. Just a reminder that your 18 and over athletes will need their athlete protection training. It is on the Learn platform. It's one course. It matches up with their membership record. So as coaches, you can go on your portal. You have to log in to your portal to see this, but you will be able to see that they've completed it. If they completed it this summer, they are good through whenever they completed it in the summer. So, but any athletes that are turning 18 within this these next few months need to take the athlete protection. This year, the push is going to go back to the Safe Sport Recognition Program. With MAP, it kind of got lost in the shuffle. We have a lot of clubs in our LSC, and we only have 3 that have completed it. If you have questions, I don't have all of the clubs who have started it, but I know there's about 80 that have actually logged in and looked at it and maybe started it. Try and complete it. It's really good to make for you as coaches or as board representatives to know that your club is doing the right things. My goal would be by May 1st to have over half of the clubs in our LSC have it completed. So if you have questions, you're not sure what to do or what you need, please let me know. This summer at H-Group Champs, the athlete on my committee, Abby, if she would stand, did a fantastic job of putting together a table where she had some interactive things for athletes and parents and coaches. They could win some things, but one of the big things they did was fill out a survey. Go ahead and sit down, Abby, thank you. Well, some of the questions on the survey were regarding safe sport and how we're doing with locker room safety and deck safety at meets and things like that. And it seemed overwhelmingly that people think we are doing a good job. So continue to keep your deck safe, continue to keep the locker room safe. I do get some questions periodically regarding locker rooms that are shared in facilities that are not just pool facilities. If you have a question, please ask. And then finally, to all the athletes in the room, we do have some safe sport cups that we've got for you. So please, on your way out, if you didn't get one, see Abby or myself in the back. And we'd love for you guys to spread the message of safe sport to your clubs. And that's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you, Melissa.
Oh, any questions? I'm good?
Carlos, D, and I.
Probably changed since the meeting started.
Right, just a couple of quick notes. The definition or the reference for the addition of equity into D&I is in the report. Just want to touch on the Illinois Diversity Select Camp. That is going to be a co-op with Indiana Swimming in Indiana with the Tijuana Pro Series meets, the one that they're hosting May 6th through 9th. Right, so So we'll get more information on that. That is a for sure done, for sure deal. We'll get more information on the webpage as it comes in. We have a new webpage on USA Swimming, usaswimming.org/change request. All right, that is for anyone transgender that wants to change their classifications as far as what they want to swim. It's a 7-step process. There's an application, instructions, everything that they need to get this done. And then one last thing is the Central Zone DEI is looking to host a select camp. We don't have any bidders. If any team is interested, it's usually done in June. So it'll be for June 2020. If anyone's interested in hosting one, let me know. There's an application on the Central Zone website. It lists everything you need to know about hosting one. Or you can contact the DEI chair over at Central Zone personally.
Disability Carolyn. I'll fix it.
I want to say thank you for including all of our disability athletes at the state levels this last season. It was really a fun opportunity for the athletes. A lot of time drops, and it was really fun to include them in the time final portion of our meets. I do want to remind everyone that when you do entries for disability athletes for the state meets, both age group and senior, you send that to me. You can also send that to Pam. There are also motivational time standards in my report for the zone and sectional meets, and those actually go to the host. So when you do your normal able-bodied entry, make sure you follow up with an email for your disability athletes to those hosts. Otherwise, if you have any other questions, yes. No, what we did was we had one national level and then one preparatory meet. So I listed Jimmy Flowers because that was a country's wide meet that we were allowing all athletes to participate in. So as long as it was a preparatory meet for nationals and Olympics, Paralympics. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Laurel, open water. All right, moving right along. Mark, I'm gonna have you come back up to the budget. The budget is near the back of your packet. We start by getting a motion to approve the budget, and then we get to discussion. So we get a second? All right, discussion. Michael, I know you got questions. Go ahead.
Mark, if you probably just looking here. First thing, the operating profit is listed at 234. The G&A is listed at 267. Is that the same?
Right, but we're going to fund the Olympic trial athletes from the ADF fund. So we budget for 33 athletes. If you do that math, it's balanced. Because whatever. Let's see. 6311 is 30,000 for the trial support, 2,000 for the Paralympic support. And And that money comes from the AEF fund.
I see, so it's,
Right. Right.
a couple more questions. 6800 going forward, 47.
Well, this was done, I believe, we thought we were gonna have to travel to Potomac Valley, right?
Travel out east for that, program.
I'm sure we're not gonna use that.
We're not gonna hit that number because we will be going back to Indianapolis this year, so that won't change that number. But that wasn't decided until we were at, convention last week.
Right.
So flip back up 5650 on the revenue side. I asked the question earlier, if there was additional revenue coming in.
So I believe that it's just, we have revenue misplaced in a wrong line, and we'll double check that, I'll look with you. All right, after looking at this, that's what I'm guessing happened.
It was,
So there was a 250 for athlete charge.
and then on the banquet level also, 6830. So,
And
changing.
Yeah, I'm not,
I think it's because we did go over budget this year from, originally budgeted 15,000, we spent 23.6. So I believe it's just the cost increase of running that event. On top of that, I think we were anticipating, I don't know why are we anticipating an additional 6,000 at the banquet from what we had spent this last year?
we spent 28.9, last October.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. So it's in line with what we actually spent.
Thank you very much. Any other discussion? So all those in favor of the motion, and opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
All right, we're getting there. So about a year ago, I stood up here as head and vice chair and talked about the bylaw template that was required by USA Swimming. Included in this packet and done since April and posted on the Illinois Swimming website are those bylaws. I wanted to say thank you to Todd, Michael, John, Mark, and Jack for their input and work on these. These are required by USA Swimming. It is required that we make these changes to our bylaws. Simply put, it doesn't restructure who we are, it tightens things up a little bit. So some things to highlight in here before I make a motion on this. Going forward, we will no longer have appointed positions on the board, meaning open water will now be elected by this body. Same thing with DEI and disability. So all of our appointed chairs will now be elected positions, and we will have that schedule in for, depending on how this goes, so I can include it in the list, for our nominating committee. On top of that, USA Swimming is requiring that we have an athletes committee, which we've never had before, which Joel and Garrett have already started working on. We will also be required to have a governance committee, something else that has not existed other than a rules and regs committee that deals with rules that are proposed to our admin vice chair. So those are just some of the highlighted changes that come up with this. So I'll put it out there. Can I get a motion to approve the bylaws as presented? Can I get a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Jeff, just one housekeeping matter. I believe you'll have to give a neighbor.
Yeah, that will happen because they just made that change for us. Right?
Well, everything has terms.
Yes. And like even position like secretary, where you continue to do it, is now that was something that we had.
Treasurer has your term.
Yeah, the only position that does not have term limits is treasurer or a membership legislation coordinator. Okay? All right, any other discussion, questions? All right, seeing none, All those in favor of the bylaws as presented signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Outstanding. Thank you, everybody. It's just we have to take out the reference to the zone records and border review, just because they took it away. So that's a housekeeping item that I'll take back to that group of people. Michael.
The bylaws that we just passed require us to have 2 coach reps, 1 meeting for the small club. I'd like to ask that the coaches rep take action immediately to get us a second coach rep on the board to represent the small clubs.
This is true. So, Rob, we'll talk after the meeting.
Said you want something.
That's great. Thank you. All right.
Jeff?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
What delineates large and small?
We set it at 100 with the size when we had put this together.
There are 57 small clubs in Illinois, and 43 plus 21, 64 clubs over there.
This was something that we discussed within that group, and we felt strongly was appropriate for in the best interest of the LSC. All right, next thing, nominating committee. In April, we will be charged with electing a general chair, an admin vice chair, senior chair, secretary, governance committee, and potentially a second coach's rep, depending on how this all works. So I'm looking for nominations from the floor for people to participate in that nominating committee. I know Kelly, you have one that she was going to nominate. Ed, would you accept?
Sure.
That's a yes. Okay, excellent. Other nominations. We'll make the head group by itself. Jane.
Can I nominate myself?
Yeah, you just got nominated by Jack.
Oh, hi, Jeff.
Jane, you accept?
Yes.
You cannot nominate me. Dave, would you accept? No. No. Yes, I heard yes right there. I've got a few things going. It will be an athlete as well. Go ahead.
I recommend giving each as the
Athlete, or athlete. Abby, would you accept? All right.
What was her last name, sorry?
Peach. You got it. Any other nominations? We need more than 2 members, otherwise I'm going to have to start reaching out to people. Yeah. Yes, sir. Hey, I have to briefly.
I'm sorry, how much time?
So generally speaking, with the nominating committee, what it is you guys will meet to elect a chair and go through the process of how you will seek out nominations. What we've done in the past is we put out a simple Google form. You can self-nominate or someone can nominate you. Then it's gathering information from those folks and deciding if they would be good in the position. Having a meeting, a couple of meetings on the phone to decide if you need to solicit any more candidates or who's going to be reaching out to specific folks that you think would be good if they're on the So over the whole span of the next 4 or 5 months, you're talking about a total of like 8 hours.
Chris, I just did this.
Right. 8 hours total, right?
Calling me when you're calling me what you
And Christopher.
I'll let you know.
All right, motion to accept Ed Richardson, James Spittler, Abby Peach as our athlete, Mike Stankiewicz, right, is that right? Yep. And then Christopher Tana as our nominating committee. I get a second? Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Awesome, thank you guys. I'll reach out to you guys via email shortly. Abby, I'll need to make sure I get your contact info. New business. Michael, we wanted to talk about, yes, Adam. Okay. Sport director.
Actually, I just wanted to get, what I certainly wanted to express tonight, and see your conversation. I know the board has set aside, for whatever reasons, hiring. This is a position that years ago was even higher. And in our bylaws, certain things, committee involved with this. And we don't have a sport director. My feeling is I think it's a waste of money. You know, in swimming, some people, Coach Schultz, and maybe Coach Richardson, and that actually read down the table of many things. How Illinois swimming should drive on conversation, right? And fun conversations. That's relevant past. In 2007, Jane Grosser told us that pathway to higher performance in Illinois as an executive director would generate hundreds of thousands of dollars, and we take the load off of the board members in terms of operation. Well, the money didn't come in, that didn't happen. Here we are, 07. We probably spent $1 billion in salaries and such since 07. 2 positions. All you have to do is look at the audit. Look at the audit, see where see what's in. We spent $1 billion. Could have gone to programs. Could have gone to a lot of things. Searching this elusive high performance, thinking that it's something that's going to be administrative. I can tell you the work that I've done over the past 4 years in performance evaluation. I spent a lot of years in steering, doing high performance plans for the USOC. You cannot drive the performance in the industry. It happens in the swimming pools, and that's what we need to question. Now we have a sport director position, high performance committee. It's a little bit rudderless, and we've taught a lot of credit. We're trying to hold those things together. Every time he says, I don't want to do this, I'm just trying to make sure that we keep it. I don't think any position, whatever money is allocated for that, the references are in the rules to keep the rule. $1 billion, just think, $1 billion driving performance. We're looking for somebody to continue to drive performance.
So, I'll address a little bit of your comment. We just approved the budget, but we did not include that salary. The budget that we just approved included the salary of staff, of current in the position of an administrative assistant in the office. We did not have in that budget the position of sports director.
So
let me continue real quick. The expectation from a board level, from personnel and working within the performance committee, was to have discussions pertaining to post-2020 or post the 2020 Olympics on the need and want of that. This is actually going to be something that I wanted to discuss further at our next House of Delegates. The merits of the position, the desire, so that if we do decide to do that, it would be put back into the budget for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. As we went through the process, I don't even know if it was before the last House of Delegates already, or was it before. We had identified a candidate we thought would be good for this position, but we had identified a singular candidate. So we were not being blown away by numerous people who we felt would fill that role in what Illinois swimming needed and deserved. So that was the rationale as we had gone through that process to where we are today. again, with the hope being that at the April House of Delegates, as we have some more programming available to us in time to prepare, we could sit and have that discussion as coaches and people who are really in this room because we care about the performance of our athletes in the LSC to say, from a merit standpoint, does this bring the value that we need? And we were not ready to do that after having gone through the process that we just went through. Am I right in what I'm saying, Dave, as you were part of the group in 2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope that kind of addresses it.
Yeah, it sort of addresses it. I'm not on the board, so I only kind of get the papers.
Yeah. So when you see that we have Joel Scheinfeld from USA Swimming coming out free the next House of Delegates, and we're going to have a coaches discussion forum. The coaches discussion forum is going to address this issue as we're going to have that discussion now.
I just wanted to, just think we wasted a lot of money chasing $1 million. Hate to see us spend another $1 million. When you drive performance, the kind that we're trying looking at, those people are few and far between. Because you don't find somebody that's been the money, and you are chasing something else. It's the Betty Burns, it's the John Evans, it's high people who really understand my performance, what we're trying to get to. Those people are not. So, I don't know if there's anybody else who wants to comment.
I know Dave's on the name.
I think the conversation is well worthwhile. Appreciate you bringing it up. And, you know, I just declined the opportunity to serve once again, but I'm involved with senior committee, as chair. I'm on the performance committee, that's why I'm intertwined with a lot of this. And there's a time to work credit, they weren't just going to hire somebody, just because it had to be a credible person that was going to positively earn his money, but also drive our minority organization. We just came out with having somebody that was that person, somebody that did a wonderful job. The amount of work that he did, and with those spirit has been really good vision. And we're riding the back end of that right now. And as Jeff can tell you, we've had these discussions many times over, and Todd, John, several people that put tons and tons of hours way beyond the job that take a lot of time and effort. That's not sustainable. That is not sustainable, Jeff. Am I right with that? Saying that?
It's been pretty busy the last, I'm sure Tom will be saying, John.
So there's a point in which it starts going sideways. There's a point where that actually does happen. And so if you have somebody that is qualified and of value, it's worth every dime that you spend. But if it's just a name that you put in there that doesn't have the credibility, you might as well just have the guidance of a couple of secretaries in office help to be able to run it. I think that the way that you're scoping and looking at it is really good to be involved after this several different times. That's all.
Any other comments? So I do want to encourage everybody that's in here right now, when we do put out information about the next House of Delegates, that you attend and you come with your opinions and your thoughts on this so that we can receive some direction on how, as a board, we should proceed with this or if we should not proceed with it. Any other new business? Adam?
Yeah, I propose a rule change.
Okay.
Basically, the rule change is in policy 6.19 states that you not put a bid for a facility that is not finished. On the basis that we do have a fantastic 50-meter auditorium finally being built in Illinois to host championship meets that we've been talking about for 15 years. And with this policy, it does not allow us to bring a bid forward to the House or Senior Committee or Age Group Committee, even for short course 2021. So we're looking at traveling 180 miles and Elkhart, Indiana. And I think it's worth our while to at least present a bid for a facility that we're talking about in Illinois.
So motion on the floor to remove 609.1.9. All right, discussion. Bill?
This is different than what we already voted on.
No, we voted to suspend it potentially before. This would be removal from it. Permanently.
Discussion.
Yes, we are discussing.
Could you explain why policy?
So, I'll explain it again, as the person who worked with our various committees to put this into place. We had put this policy in place, to protect the LSC from potentially running a championship meet at a facility that was scheduled to be ready and then may or may not open on time as scheduled, in which case it would leave the LSC scrambling to find a viable host facility for a championship meet. So that's the gist of why it was put in place.
Sorry. I would think it's certainly okay if we have a facility in the state that is going to be an alcohol district. However, I think there needs to be a balance. So I think we should consider accepting a bid from a facility that's not operational, as long as there's a viable confirmed backup.
I would speak against this motion, but with the caveat that when we come back in the spring, and specifically with the your facility we're talking about, I think you guys are going to have a really, we're going to be getting a year out at that point. You guys are going to have a really good idea of where your facility is. Not that you don't have a good idea now, but say, no, I might you too, but I mean, you're months out. I mean, it's a lot of those months in construction. We've all been involved in it, but I think it's a good rule in general, but I would vote in the spring. You guys are like, hey, we're going to open a month for bid or something. I would absolutely vote for the sustainable in that situation. Because again, I think it's important that you guys are able to bid these. You can't wait 2 years to start bidding these. I think that's not a good facility. So, but I do think your facility, I'm saying that down the road we're going to get into another situation. We're going to have a facility and we're going to end up bidding a meeting. We're going to have a UIC for a long-term championship because this facility has to be 6-7 months behind. It's not properly funded. We know we're not having to do ours. So that's my opinion. Again, I have no concern with your facility, especially coming up in the spring. But I do think the rule itself makes a lot of sense.
And then,
yeah. Bill, I completely agree with your concerns. I have the same concerns. All right, if there's a facility that's not done, that's my number one concern too. Is it going to be done in time for our things to go? And what I don't agree with is a policy for it because you cannot even bring it up in front of the senior committee or whatnot. That's why we have senior committee. That's why we have age committee to take those bids and then for them to decide whether it's worth the risk or whatnot. All I'm saying is, why are we not allowed to put in a bid for that to bring that up? So technically, come April, I would not be able to put in a bid, or anybody here would not be able to put in a bid for the Occupancy Auditorium for the 2021 short course. Why are we holding up on that? I don't see a problem with allowing a bid for a facility that's not done. If the committee decides that, hey, it's too much of a risk, or the House of Delegates decide that it's too much of a risk, let them make that decision. That's all I was trying to say on that.
Kathy?
So I'm confused. We have to vote to change policy, but the policy was allowed to be a policy without vote?
So it's the board of directors can amend the policy procedure manual as it's fit. So that's where that policy is put into place. The house can overrule the board of directors. The voice of the board of directors as it pertains to any policy.
It is.
And what's the whole thing? I've heard it first, is that true?
April. Right?
So my point is, it's only in the first, or each of these would be in here. March 1st. Oh, March 1st.
Alexis.
If we're looking at, like, our policy, which I completely, I think we're just
seniors doesn't make sense where we're thinking it's just the state meet, but you're also talking about regional meets and smaller pools and facilities that can be host regional meets. I think if the bid process can include a reasonable timeline, I don't see where that could be something that is considered in the senior committee.
I will wholeheartedly disagree with that, and here's why. We just went through a process where we had a facility that was supposed to open in April. It opened just recently, like a month ago. And so we had actually internally discussed as an organization putting a bid for this last summer's regional meets. And had we done that, we would not have had a facility if a policy like this did not exist. And so that would have left all of those teams and us as a club scrambling to find a viable host facility to run that regional.
Then maybe that bid process also includes Jory's amendment with regards to having a backup policy in the event that you don't have that. I mean, is this something where the bid process needs to be reevaluated?
I felt for a long time that the bid process needs to be reevaluated, and that's something that we can take back and work on. If we're directly.
Because I think we missed an opportunity this summer with FFC. We really do. For the seniors. I think taking them to Munster is not doing fair justice. I don't think it's
Doesn't it sound like the past we just want a change to the rule? Like striking right now might be awkward, but doesn't sound like we're starting
So I and make an amendment.
That's what I'm not the word. I'm just saying, I think the emotional force is trying to strike it. But if that's the case, you run the risk of people who maybe aren't paying attention or not on top of themselves, get drawn to a super fancy potential facility and then not have backup plan. So I think it's easier to just lose and argue
What if we amended to say that the facility gets to be open within a certain amount of time of placing the bid? So that way, if it doesn't open in time, let's say if it's 6 months, if it's not open within the 6 months that they place the bid, then that gives another team an opportunity to get ready.
I mean, are you making a motion?
I'm making a suggestion.
I don't know how that would, what was the motion to strike it, not. Well, Adam has his hand up too, so Dave, do you want to go first and then Todd will do it? I want you to speak first.
I'm going to speak out both sides when I'm out there. So, I agree with having a policy in place because again, take our current situation out. This isn't about, we're all thinking about FMC and thinking about the date. What about, as Bill said, 7, 8 years from now, next year? And once you open up this door, it makes it very difficult to close. I agree with Carlos. I don't like the fact that you can't put a bid in for a facility that's not yet complete on the day of bidding. But I disagree. 6 months is not realistic. You're looking at them having to secure a new host or a new venue potentially 4 or 5 months before the meet. That's not realistic. I would say, if you want to do it where they can be considered, the facility must be open within 90 days.
90 days, okay.
90 days of bidding.
Adam, would you accept that? Adam?
I'm just confused. I'm personally confused because, okay, if I say, all right, nothing she's going to be done in 90 days. Okay, nothing she's going to be done in 90 days. So I put in a bid. What do you need? Do you need like a contract to figure it out? I just don't understand why we can't trust our senior committee, engagement committee, and the House of Delegates to make that decision, which we've been doing for how many years now. So all I want to do is basically allow teams to submit a bid for discussion for a facility that's not done. That's it. Not saying that we have to vote on it and say, yes, we're going to have it here, but there should be a policy in place to allow a bid to be accepted. As of now, nothing like that. So that's one thing.
Just as a, because him and I were both in this last, okay, we both had pools, we both brought pools to the body and weren't done at the time of the bid. And I'm with you, I leave it to the committee, find out the facts and where the pool's at, leave it to the committee. I don't think we need this rule in place because what if then you could have said, oh, well, we're not taking Elkhart or Valparaiso. But they were both supposed to be done.
That was what worried us.
Well, I get that, but I say
So
we
the
would
one-
body find out where these pools are at
So,
when
the one comment that I will make in defense of the board of directors, you guys have to remember, our job is not to necessarily say, oh, this is the best facility or that is the best facility. It's to, we need to make sure we have an opportunity that will go on for our athletes, period, end of story.
And then if you have a concern that it's not gonna go on, say like this, say, hey, do you know what, these are our concerns, it's not
But
gonna
we
go.
can't do that.
Less evident than it was 2 minutes ago, however. I didn't realize you couldn't submit a bid consideration law. And, however, I still think it's good to have in place, but I would be interested in entertaining amendment. So that we waive the requirement for SFMC for the spring house delegates next year. And that we go ahead and allow that facility to submit bid. I think one of the dangers here, and we allow spots to become a bylaw community to plus Missouri. And it's not that LLC was trying to create rules in Illinois on that facility for the safety. And it actually created an issue for that injected budget that had a lot of impacts on him. And when the village was running the safety LLC before, there were some of the rules. And I think we're kind of starting to get private facilities. Millions, tens of millions of dollars been put into the facility. And I think it's a bad goal for us to say, no, we're going to hold you really substantial. Even though next time you meet, your doors could open within days, you're still not going to be able to do that bid forward. I think at that point, you guys can be so close to opening. I think the risk is very minimal for us. So if you're good, if you're cool that out, that we make that amendment, that we just waive the requirement, we waive that requirement for the FMC block center.
My biggest thing is low level swimming and having the resources and facilities to be able to host the best championship meets that we can host for athletes. I mean, my first delegates meeting, I listened to a couple presentations coming up about how we don't have competition pools in Illinois to be able to succeed like we want to. I heard Frank Bush come to this board, talk to coaches, and saying that what's holding Illinois swimming back is these kinds of pools that Marianne Kaufman is gratefully building for us. It might be somebody else that comes down the road. I think we should deserve the ability just to put in a bid. That's all I'm asking. I know. I don't think we need to limit it to just this facility. What about if a new facility comes up? Why are we not allowing them to bring forth the bid? That's the only thing. This isn't about, yes, it's about FMC and this, but this is about Illinois swimming. I want to see the best things for Illinois swimming. I don't want to go down the track. You guys know how passionate I am about getting it on the state for championship meet. I can't stand it. And with the resources and a lot of kids that we have and outstanding swimmers that come out, look at our post-grads. How many post-grads actually stay in the state? I think we should support our facilities in Illinois every opportunity we get.
Yeah, it's one of the things here is how this is board policy.
Camera's working.
So, when the board turn around on Monday and say, we're going to waive this. So the board can do that on a days. This is the policy. So,
But actually, the question would be good for everybody. Whoever builds the future because of preceding hospitality has to away. Right? It actually gives this body, gives the board of directors, more information at that point about when the building's supposed to be done.
Good try to take it.
As opposed to someone simply submitting a bid 6 months later that doesn't still anything about it. Reality is, rules are in place to make sure there's a mechanism to ensure that obligation policies. The reality is anybody can walk in here and cooking.
I didn't stop that.
You could have stood up and said,
And then we could have decided to put it
which goes to Alan's point, that maybe we don't need the rule, because policy, because anybody can walk in here and the policy is. So, you can sit there and have forms and arguments, but as long as someone can fairly walk into the room and say, here's your bid, you don't need policy. I speak in favor of. Finally.
I am paid for you. The problem that I have with today and what happened is not just about it. This is about not the facts being brought up in front of the government to make a decision. I would have hoped that first 50 meter facility that would have been presented would have been adjusted for hindsight. Just standing, no doubt. We often do things that are different. But for Christ's sake, we have a facility that's finally being built. I've been on these decks for 35 years and heard the same thing time and time again. We need a facility. We have to have a facility. We don't have a 50-year facility. We don't have this. We don't have that. Now you have it. And after one moment was it brought up what the status of the facility is at this day, what the staging process is going forward. Not once. You did not have the privilege of all the information that we could share with you. You were denied. And yet you took a vote. You took a vote. So, all I'm saying here is whether it's in this situation or the other, the ability to be able to house to have all the facts. Are you going to tell me sitting there you don't have questions, you don't have curiosities? A bunch of you probably would have stuck around to see the cute little video at the end. And then some of you are going to walk out here and go, if I only knew. If I only knew. This is not a high school building facility. This is not a parking building facility. We had heating and cooling units and storage for 6 months. We've had immersion pool and storage for 6 months. We have things lined up, not to be held up on every stage of the way. We are going to be putting in a small full corner concrete tomorrow. Tomorrow. It's framed out. There's a rebar in there. And the roofing is starting tomorrow. And closed. All the walls are up, the balcony's up in place. The top 2-inch coating throughout the building, and the mechanical room is done 85%. The last 15% has been pulled completely. And yet you deprived that. And we presented. I think that would have changed. Right? So whether it's this situation or another situation, we always deserve to know the facts. Thank you. Oh, well, it's an important thing. It is an important thing that was shared by Judy and where you're sitting. There have been bids that have been put on facilities that have already been built, right? And something happens. Scheduling with the school district, pool goes down. We did have a backup plan. There was another facility that was here. But you know.
I just, Michael, you on this, but just a point of order on all this, that the decision that we made earlier, I'm speaking on behalf of today for this, is we got hung up in Robert's rules and language on what we voted, and we were all subject to not questioning exactly the language. And the moment that we were seeing rest, and he came out, and the news, the moment that happened, Robert's rules was completely different. our purposes in these meetings, you guys can know me, I've been getting around for 2 years, kind of thing. It is one of those things that if we're not educated enough, or if we're not aware enough, or we're getting ask for things, or we struggle on things, this kind of situation happens, which is why in new business we're now literally trying to look around this and see if we can have a conversation about what happened. So just like going forward, I think it's incumbent on us to make sure that we're using the right language.
Hey, we done had a whole 50-way message, right?
That we're really truly sure, you know, exactly what we're asking.
50-way message. At least we made it long, like this person that we would ever do something else. It's okay though. It's our first time. 10 of them.
It's gonna go down.
Probably.
So I'm just
But
gonna try it.
if we all the way to 5, you can try to test it now, because what if we
Why
don't
can't we just simply say, because times are changing, so like we're losing the also badass food. Why can't we just say there's a stipulation to the actual bidding process where if you're facilitating execution, you actually take responsibility, get back on the get stuff looks out. We give a deadline by what time we need to get it out. I'm done, it's out there. I need to, give an accurate date, whatever.
Correct.
But I think it's simpler than one way.
Currently, there's a motion on the floor to strike 609.1.9 from our policies and procedures manual. In order to do what you were saying, we need to write something that would work with it, and having the time to accept that instead of striking, that we would add to that to say, here's the stipulations that things would be accepted.
Right. I think it's too simple. I mean, I don't know if you want to hold up the motion first.
But we would have to vote on the other one, strike it
Now,
down.
if anybody in the South wants to make a note, the term friends of the
Yeah,
does not exist.
yeah.
So if anybody, for brevity, I asked Alan Adam if he would accept it. I didn't have to, I could actually make that motion myself. But dramatically change that motion, so I do it. I will wait and see what happens here. If this motion fails, then I will bring forward the motion.
Another motion.
So, but if you want to amend the motion, you may do so. Or motion will be required, you just have to state what your amendment is. If you get a second, we will discuss the amendment, vote on the amendment, and then come back to amend it or not.
Go.
So I've found the meeting with Jeff for 2 years, and I've been now for the last 2 years. How many times have we been short bids? How many times have we had such a surplus of bids that we had 10 years of bids for age group state ever? We had 10? Oh, my point is that this rule is keeping the facility that will be built, that will be completed, needs to be bid. We don't have a surplus of bids.
It's
We're
not
not in a position
I
where
can take it off, but this thing's still messed up.
we can be super picky and just like,
Nobody can see it.
oh, well, we can go to
frozen.
Pack, we can go to Northwestern, we can go to, we're talking about 2 different bids, with 2 potential bid numbers. And I think that as an agency committee, I think that 2 bids, we could look at it and go, is there a contingency plan? Is there a, I think that's the thing.
That's camera.
With regional, we opened up, for additional, we opened up this because we didn't have enough sites, we didn't have enough bids. So, Illinois swimming, 20,000 numbers, we don't have enough bids. And we're saying, let's put a rule on for who can submit bids, who can, not being in support, guys.
I'm just going for a point of clarification on this end of the situation. Was the bid ever brought to the table? Was it allowed?
It wasn't allowed, so it was never allowed to be there. So it wasn't like it could be brought to the table and then it went to the senior committee and the board of directors to say, we can't accept it because of this. It was never allowed on the table.
Correct.
But it could have been brought before.
But it could have, and that's the policy change. I was told by our general chair that it was not allowed to be brought up at the house.
The house vote is not.
I do not think there's a single person on the board or in this LSC that doesn't want to have a meet in Illinois. This is put in place because it is absolutely difficult and puts too much pressure on a team when a facility does not come through. This was meant to help the LSC. I do not think any more discussion needs to be done, just in the fact that people want to get rid of this, get rid of it. It's that simple. This was put in place from the board's point of view to protect teams in the LSC and having a viable meet. Yes, we don't get a lot. My team has twice come after the bid was done and asked to host a meet, and we came through. We have no problem. But that is hard for the board. That is hard on the LSC. I mean, do I call a question so that we can just bring up not speak? Okay. I'm done.
I'll call.
We have call the question. We have a second. Yeah.
I just a complimentary. John can't speak.
No.
I'm so like that, and then it was seconded by Brian. So all those in favor of calling the question signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now, just so that we're all clear, what we're voting on, you vote in favor of this, is to get rid of 609.1.9, which states that in order for a bid to be placed, the facility must be operational at time of bid. All right, so if you vote in favor of this, that gets stricken from our policy and procedure manual. Yeah. 609.1.9. Okay? Yes, sir.
What's the percentage? 50%?
It's policy and procedure. It's majority. Okay? So it's a simple majority vote right now. So again,
No, I'm sorry, just a clarification, because in our policy procedure, we don't have a 609.
it's because it hasn't been posted correctly on the website. It's in the board that what's so Kate, what are you saying?
Well, I just, in all of the policy and procedure stuff, it's numbered 6.3 point something.
Yeah, 6 point, yes.
There is no 604.
6.3.9, sorry.
Because the 604 does show up in rules and regs, in our rules and regs, so it's the differentiation.
Yeah, it's the policy one, not the rule. Okay. All right, so it's simple majority. So again, if you vote in favor of this right now, that gets stricken from our P&T manual, all right, which then would allow future House of Delegates for any facility. Okay. We're all clear on that, right? All right, so all those in favor of removing that signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign? Aye. Well, it passed, so that will be stricken. Okay. Any other new business? Adam?
We have a little change. I would like the commission to remove that does not allow to come to the house.
I need some help from people smarter than me on this. Bill?
Because he voted, I don't know, only somebody who voted in favor of the bid. Only somebody who voted in favor of the bid is allowed.
It's a motion to reconsider.
Right, it's a motion to reconsider, but it has to be voted in favor of the Munster bid, correct?
Somebody who voted on the prevailing side needs to bring forward a motion.
Okay.
Anybody's going to
Adam, did you vote in favor of Munster?
I got it, the honest, I voted against.
Okay. What? So did you? All right, so John voted in favor of this. How do I again, we just take a vote on reconsidering it, and then we have discussion.
Table motion. Table motion.
Can I get a second on the motion to reconsider the senior champion? All right, discussion. Alexis.
Can I request that you guys speak to where the current status
Wait, I've been working on this here for hours.
All right. Go.
Hey, Joe. Are we still on? We vote to reconsider?
No.
We have to vote to all of them now. This motion is signed.
Okay. So you can only speak to the motion of reconsidering right now, not the bids themselves. If there's any discussion on reconsidering, Dory.
I think that the protection of the board, who would, volunteer their time, is grateful. I think there should be consideration of the caveat that there's a legitimate input backup. So if it's a bid.
Well, but we can't talk about that right now. We're only talking the motion to reconsider.
Okay.
Okay. And again, I'm not trying to squash discussion. I'm trying to follow the rules as I'm navigating waters that I've never navigated in that.
Good, fine. Keep going. Let's call the question.
All right. All those in favor of reconsidering signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, like sign. Okay. Well, it's passed. So now we are reconsidering. So now, Dave. All right. Well, would you like to see a presentation on this? Yes. Yes. That would be awesome.
So first of all, in the presentation, you have Wes and Ultimate coming together for FMC. They've run high-level meets before, but they also, Ed has run senior championships and staff has done a fine job. We're going to take you through a path in which you get to see some renderings if you haven't seen that, and then also some pictures or video of its current state. So while he's setting this up, let me explain what's transpiring as we're going along. So right now you have precast that's all up, you have balcony that's all put in, you have masonry work on the second floor that's in. On the first floor it's completely in. The electrical and the plumbing was all put in on the lower floor. There were some things we didn't like, so they took it out, and they'll be completing that this week. So the first floor, the plumbing and electrical will be in. The mechanical room, which is a beast, is 85% done. And when you see some,
Yeah.
all right. So when you see that, you'll know what we're talking about. It's not a small undertaking, not a couple of pumps and a heater. It's very elaborate. The way that the pool is designed is that it has a dual backup membrane. So you have dual filtration with a main pool. You have dual heating systems, so if one goes down, it's sustainable. The site supplying for a 10-day period. The upstairs is pretty elaborate. You've got a horseshoe seating that encompasses on the second level. And behind that is a concession area, a hospitality area, commercial station back there, and overflow. And I'm going to take it from
Kind of like I talked about earlier, our main goal is to bring Illinois back to Illinois. Like I said, that's always been our biggest concern with facilities. That's always been the biggest complaint about our state needs is where we're hosted. So we do have the opportunity to finally do what we've talked about doing, and we wanted to bring it to the house, at least have the opportunity to bring this to our athletes and do what we've been talking about for a long, long time. So this is FMC Auditorium. This is a rendering of the front. It's located in Westmont, Illinois. So what we're looking at here is a key Illinois, so we have a 9-lane, 50-meter facility to get the whole senior stay at. It's got an 8-lane, 25-yard training pool in the back, so we'll talk about warm-ups, cool-downs for your races. It's not an issue. Kids are going to have plenty of time to be able to warm up in the beautiful 8-lane work the pool. There's 1,200 spectator seating around 3 sides, so it's going to be like nothing you've seen before. We have the second floor entertainment room and concessions. Basically, it's built to host the best meets in the country. We're hoping that this is a facility that has Pro Series meets, usually 3 championship meets. Basically, we can walk our back door and go watch some of the greatest swimmers in the world swim at. As all you guys know, we're in state meets have been so out of the last 3.5 years, 4 meets of our senior and age group state meets have been held in Illinois. Okay, so out of 14, only 4. There's 3 in Indiana and then 7 in Wisconsin, which is appalling. So we're looking at a first class auditorium in April. And something to let you guys know, this is not a school, this is not a park district, this is not a city building facility. It's a privately owned facility that their #1 primary goal is to have this thing done and built. And I trust them to the end where they said that they're going to be done in time, they will be done in time. So with that, I'm going to have Dr. Ozak here talk a little bit about what's been done so far and what needs to be done. So this is the current state of the building right now. So this is an outside picture from this morning. As you can see, there's already the HVAC units on the building with everything structured.
Yeah, so my name's Tom Ozak. I go to the local team right now. So this will be created within the last 3 weeks. You guys see that the HVAC units are what's on the roof. Mechanical room continues to make progress. We've a couple of that. Basically, there's only 1 piece left. Mechanical room is 85% complete. Second floor is all the houses employed. All the roads are up there. Again, there is a pump room. Everything is 85% done. Starting tomorrow, we'll start working on the roof installation. Concrete's being poured in the small pool. We'll paint the ceiling in the small pool. And then Bertha comes 2 weeks from tomorrow to start installing the small pool. So 3 weeks time from now, we'll have 1 pool completed. And then we'll start working on decking, concrete, and tires. Moving forward a couple of months, by the time we get to December, all the windows will be installed, the roof will be completed. We will be inside, away from all the elements. So there'll be no delays this winter on any snow, any winter conditions. Parking lots going to be paved before the winter, get ready for the spring.
You can try to get the top.
Body with this company. Just a couple. Keep it quick, there's a couple things we're excited about. The HVAC units were over-designed. There are 10 units in the competition facility, 10 third starts in the competition facility. You guys can see them on the side actually. So every 11 minutes, you can exchange the entire air in the entire facility. Electro-fitting from day 1. We have clean air for everybody. There's a shower station on the track. Everybody can rinse off. Or we should have clean air for all of our actions. The lighting, not installed yet. The lighting is installed, or the lighting is prepared for professional quality events. So, same lighting we had in Olympic trials, same lighting that we'll bring in for cheer Pro Series. It'll all be.
No, I tried to get the video of the Olympic trial pool being installed. So some of you guys might have seen that. Does anybody know how long it took them to install that pool? Yeah, 14 days. They installed a 15-meter and a training pool in 14 days because the work that's already put together basically. So what you look at here, the one pool is already, the training pool is ready to be concreted tomorrow. All right, then the pool to be done, within a couple weeks without a problem. Everything's already purchased, everything's all ready to go. There's no snags or anything along those lines. The city of Westmont wants this done. They want it done fast and quick. And you have a private organization that's helping push this through. So it should be pretty quick and amazing process of it. So there's that training pool. All it needs to do is report and then the pool goes in. That's about it. Now I built the pool, as most of you guys know. It's nothing compared to what I had to go through with the gunite concrete and now it's more pool. Basically, here's the pool, we just kind of top it in. All the plumbing is already done with it, electrical, everything's there. So it's going to be pretty amazing if you can tell the regenerative system. Your parents are absolutely going to love it. This is a view from up in the spectator view, so if you look out over Taiwan Park. And then with our bid, we will supply 75% of the timers on Friday, Saturday prelims. 5% of the timers for the rest of the week. Like I said, this pool is designed to host meets. It's not going to be like Lake Central where they went us that they supply like 25 safety marshals going through, worrying about school on Fridays or anything along those lines. Restaurants, if you guys ever been in downtown Westmont, there's more than enough. Hotels are not an issue. That's Tidewater Park, that's right next to it. The windows and the display on this facility can be next to none. That's how it should be. Those are all windows on the side. This is a training pool down here, so they got a nice view. This is a spectator room where people go for the concessions and everything else, overlooking the park. So it should be pretty remarkable that way.
I got a question about this one.
Yes.
Is that west, east, south, or north?
That is
That's
west.
west. That's sunset. Okay, and so starting block will be facing the other way.
Yeah, starting left.
I'm just questioning that.
So it's the south part of the area, so it's
Okay.
So starting one side, this end down here.
Alright, so I didn't see that wall, so I was kind of curious whether it would be
go how much parking would 350 spots on site, 350 on site, 250 right across the street, and 125 on the street. So then within 0.6 is another 200 spots at the junior high. So let me kind of absolutely.
Dave, can you give us an insight in terms of where you are progressing with respect to the original construction timeline to where you are today?
So we're about 60% through the project, and we are within 35 days of that. And that was all because of the storms that we had in the spring. It started raining and 40 below for a couple of weeks. So those were impossible days. And that's an important question because none of this has been due to construction programs. White construction has absolutely phenomenal. For the scope of business is from $20 million to $80 million. We're very familiar. We do a lot of work within the community. And the way that they stage things, and that question was up a little bit earlier, is that you have, well, everything's going simultaneously in this. All the underwater, stormwater service is already installed. The side of the football field on one side and half the football field on the other side. So that infrastructure is already piped in and already installed. The curbing, well, these things that Adam and John brought up as far as the building, simultaneously they started curbing the parking lot this week. And through the process, the end goal is to have part of the project is left done, but all the electrical, the light posting, the islands, all installed. We have to have vegetation in and islands all in to get approval ultimately in the end. And April, so to make that a non-issue, we're doing it all. Only to the far side, on the opposite side of the building, is the being open, the parking lot won't be done at that time because you're going to be digging and hauling out from the inside. So the way that this goes is that you have the up on the upper level, they have to paint the electrical and ventilation before they dig the pool. So that's the process. So the detail and staging, even in that area, is to work from that scoreboard side and be installing and painting and coming down as you're digging it out right behind about 25 feet. Because that has to be on the plan code, otherwise the units won't go up. All the lighting, foot candles in the center are about 90. Most of you deal with 50, it would be 50 in small pool. Ventilation, unbelievable. Thank you, University of Minnesota and IUPUI for sharing all the information. The things that we've done, things that we've done if there's new construction, different fabulous to us. I can tell you, every aspect of this building is going over and over again. And if you think that for a minute that I'm with here, I'm going to a place, I'm moving where I'm at, to be done after July, are you kidding me? No way that can happen.
But one other question, Dave, just because it happens, and we've had this experience. I'm presuming that you've already started the conversation with the state for their certification, because that has always been one of the hardest final steps.
And I've actually done it, so I know firsthand how it's done and how it's been processed. There's no doubt that that's going to be wrong.
The construction company.
Wait a minute, you didn't say you built a pool, you have no child.
No, actually, the donor that was the easy part.
That was my high.
So the answer to Steve's question, part of the scope of the construction firm is to also make sure that everything that starts from the turnkey hands over is all organized. Right, so they're way ahead, and that's the important part of the construction in general, because if you're going to finish the project and open it up, that's part of their agreement, the stipulations, it doesn't happen. So, Mary and Bob, can you stand up, please? Just first of all, Marianne is there every single day. Whenever she's in the state. She's there every day. And her goal is to make sure that they're staying in the state. And she's getting her money. And she's getting her money's worth and staying in the state. We have, she's had a lot more meetings than I am, but there's a goal every single week where it's the exam, and including what the certification. So we even have a mechanic. So going through the building, standing over, and then going through the training. Any other questions?
What's something about
What's that?
Speaking from somebody that's a bid that doesn't have a warm down pool, I'm just curious what's the temperature of
The warm down pool can be adjusted to 40 degrees. The warm down pool is 8 lanes, 25 yards. It's 4.5 feet deep at the turn end to 3.9. There's 2 starting blocks in there, and it goes from 3.9 to 6.5 feet in the small pool. The large pool is 8 feet at the shallow end, goes down over 25 yards to 9 feet, and then goes 10.5 to 14 back up to 10.5. You can run 20 lanes across course. The easiest way to explain it, you're in lane 1, the depth of the pool is about 11 feet, you're in lane 10, the center lane is 10.5 feet at that depth. It's very fast. Vertical blocks on the head wall, spectrum with vertical caps on the cross-top storage pool, timing sensors as far as relay exchanges on all blocks. None of this at the high school safety and 90-year-old buyer with 19 feet on both sides, on the deck, 19 feet on both sides, 18 and a half from the head wall, the start edge, 16 and a half. When you go 50 meters, 2 bulkheads slide down towards the scoreboard side, and then that's an additional 8 feet. The scoreboard is minimal, 11 and a half by 30 feet. LED. Any other questions? I can tell you the size of the offices, I can tell you the size of the companies, whatever else you need to know. All right, thank you for the opportunity. Appreciate it. All right.
Sure. Go ahead. I'll address something for lot parking, but most people going out to that kind of year, so it's a good problem. Many of you guys are on the site, you're ready to do it. All I got.
So the request that has been made is instead of doing a verbal vote, you do it by writing a request.
Yeah.
You just want to vote verbally? All right. Yeah.
They have a backup pool in place. Do you want to talk about backup pools? It's about a quote, but just.
Well, yes, backup pool is at UIC.
I mean, the bid is for us to see. Kind of the bid for, language strikes and whatnot, not what. Can't hold it up. We are going to find the best site for most meeting.
So you don't have a backup?
We do have UIC. UIC is all secured, ready to go. But as we found for most people, not everybody's that excited about going to UIC for a golf course meet. So we will find the best, but we do have UIC locked up as of that. We'll call Valparaiso, we'll do whatever it is to make sure. So, in worst case scenario, we'll go back to where we are.
So what's the
That's what I'm saying. So you got nothing to lose.
Can I ask one question, sir? And is there additional cost for us to go outside of state in any way, shape, or form?
Well, yes, there are. Obviously, since we webcast our championship meets for seniors and age group, we have a webcast group who are here today. Thank you guys. They have to be housed, and we pay mileage for them also. Staff has to be housed. I would say that the mileage and the hotel bills to that. Oh, also, when we go out of state, Illinois does not benefit, but Wisconsin does, and Indiana does, because they do take a percentage of the entry fees. And Wisconsin loves us. They're looking cool.
As I've moved forward, I just came on West Spring, last Hudson Delegates. There are no couple of things that I want to say just a good thing. And I'm not speaking with Kevin more, so maybe I get nothing out of this. Still, actually more work, so. You know, I can tell you, we put this in place, it had nothing to do with that longevity. It was really the board looking at the best for LSC in regards to those things, making sure that the Bylaw wasn't here with the whole other thing happened, that came out right after that. And our name was so this wasn't anything that happened. Let's say probably 98 to 100% of our kids moving forward are going to be facilities from last year. But it's fantastic. It's going to be great. So the board, we didn't suppress it, but we put it in everything. We thought policy procedures, we thought that's what to make sure we had things up too much. They talked about the days that had the winter from weather and rain and having this is it, and not really indoors. So I'm not going to talk about construction stuff like this. What we're trying to do. So, but I just wanted to put it out there that being on board for the last 6 months, the motives were altruistic. We're not looking for having both are needs. At some point, we wouldn't have been able to have this much. I just wanted to provide you sense of, because there was no suppression, there's no, anybody else could eat there with anybody else. Moving forward, it's going to be there more moving forward.
This is a debate amongst friends.
Absolutely.
These
Well,
are
it
my,
makes sense.
these are my friends. This is where you step.
So for some of them, I contact for seniors, go to operate this facility as amongst friends. Are you saying that you're gonna host beer?
I'll buy a lot of beer. All right. All right. Alexis.
Second.
All those in favor of calling for questions?
What is
Wait.
I'm defining the question is,
So-
voting for,
Stopping debate.
stop the debate, voting on the senior state
Which-
location for 2020.
All those in favor of calling the question, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, like sign. All right, so we will vote first. Simple majority, right? So we'll vote first on FMC, all right, and then the second vote. Yeah.
I do think that writing the names easy, so we're not trying.
That's why I thought doing a written vote would be easier, just so that way we're not creating confusion on if we're voting for one side versus the other.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And it is one versus the other versus yes or no.
You need to define that a lot better.
So, on your card, if you're in favor of Munster, write Munster on your card. If you're in favor of FMC, write FMC on your card. Fold your card in half, send it towards the center aisle on this side, and center aisle on this side.
Are we sure we're done? We're not gonna need to.
This is the last thing, unless there's new business.
Oh.
Nico, zoom into the lady that's in the house. To the voter.
Alright. While we're waiting for those, we still have, alright, is there any other new business? Okay, you're just getting this right. Alright, while we're waiting for this, I'll take a couple minutes. Spring 2020 House Delegates, proposing date of April 19th, 2019, 1 o'clock start here. And I give it a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Awesome. We will have programming beforehand, as I mentioned before. We've already worked with Joel at USA Swimming, and he will be out. I know the athletes are talking about doing some programming again, so please plan to spend the whole day here with us. Depending on how things go, we will have elections. If there's no other business, I move to adjourn, and we'll obviously include the information on the results of this.
Don't zoom too much in because you're taking up all the
Alright, have a good one. Thank you guys for being here. You can wait. You don't have to leave. I just figured we'd adjourn the meeting and be done.
But we have to have a meeting.
You can't adjourn until you vote.
It's fine. Meeting is not adjourned. They're already done. All right, FMC has been awarded to me. So
Hey, when's the next meeting?
April 19th. Here.
Thank you.